Hey everyone, Chris here from VarsityGaming, and it's time for another monthly Q&A. I made a post on the community page for the YouTube channel asking for your guys' questions, and I took some of my favorites. I'm now going to post those questions on the screen and answer them as thoroughly as I can. And every single one of these videos always gets a complaint about this, so I'll let you know right now, there will be no gameplay footage at all in this video. There will only be the questions on the screen and my voice answering them. So if you're looking for gameplay, you can turn away now. Anyways, on to the questions. We have our first question from Daniel asking, is Siege moving in the right direction with the next operation? 100% they are. I am so fucking happy that Operation Chimera is done. Operation Chimera has been one of the most stale and also unbalanced operations in the entire history of Siege. I try to keep a pretty positive mind and then just try to remember it's just a game, because the more negativity you add to the game, the harder it is to enjoy it, especially when you play it full time like I do. So I always try to keep a positive attitude, but holy shit has Chimera been boring. I've never actually been so bored of an operation so quickly. Now when I say bored, I'm not saying that I hate playing it every day. I still enjoy playing on stream because it's fun to talk to you guys, and I still enjoy making videos because it's fun to try different things. But the meta got so stale so quickly. And by the beginning of May, I was already just hoping for the TTS to come out so we could start playing with the new operators. The reason why Chimera, in my opinion, was such a failure is because the two operators they added, Lion and Finka, so overpowered. Lion's finally gotten nerfed, but he's still pretty prevalent in Pro League and will still be pretty prevalent in Ranked. When you have an ability that basically just shows the location of every enemy alive, then it's pretty hard to beat that. And not to mention Finka, she's pretty overpowered herself, but she kind of lost the limelight because of Lion. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, it's like comparing one super high-end card to another. They're both super nice, it's just that one's going to be slightly more expensive and you're going to be looking more at that one. And it is too early to tell, but just based on the TTS, I would say Alibi and Maestro are an amazing addition to Siege and are definitely better than Lion and Finka. I know for a fact that I've mentioned this on stream, but I don't know if I've mentioned it in a video, so I'm going to mention it here again. Lion and Finka were not meant to be released as operators. They were meant to be released only for the Outbreak missions, and then they decided, kind of last minute, hey, let's try to throw it into multiplayer and see what happens. And then when the pros and all the people who tried the game before it comes out got their hands on it, they all mentioned how super overpowered it was. But by then, Ubisoft was like, yeah, this is too late to change anything, we're just going to push it through anyways. And it seems like they finally fixed that horrible quality assurance process that they had, and they're now releasing more balanced operators. A lot of people are complaining, saying that Alibi and Maestro will be too strong. It's still too early to tell, but I think they're pretty balanced. Unlike Lion and Finka, who, after the first round of playing against them, you could 100% understand why they're way too overpowered. But overall, yes, I am happy that Bellum's coming out. This is a move in the right direction, and hopefully we never have a season as horrible as Chimera. Moving on to the next question, we have one from Thomas asking, do you think Villa is the most competitive map like they are claiming? So I got to play Villa a decent amount on the TTS, and I will say I can understand where they're coming from when they claim that it's the most competitive map, but I feel like we're going to have to actually see it in play. I enjoyed the map, and I thought it was pretty cool. However, my big issues with it were, one, there are way too many rooms on that map. I counted it out looking on the overview, but I think there's somewhere between 60 to 80 rooms total, or at least 50. It was very high up there. So imagine trying to make callouts for 50 different rooms on a competitive map. It'd be very, very hard. And then also the sound of that map is really fucking weird. I don't know whether it's just a bug on the TTS or if it's actually just that bad, but you can hear people from across the map and it sounds like they're inside your room. I had so many issues where I was roaming around the map and I would hear someone break the window and I'd push up getting ready to surprise them as they jumped in, and it turns out, oh no, they're breaking into a window one floor above me, 5 rooms away. The sound just travels so far in that map, and it's just impossible to tell what's actually happening. And I have a really good headset. I'm usually able to locate exactly where people are pushing through. So to have a map where I can't even tell where people are was pretty jarring. And I hope they at least fix that before it releases, but we'll see. Next question from Patrick asking, do you think Valkyrie will be overshadowed by Maestro Cam / Bulletproof cameras? So this is kind of a big concern. A lot of people have been mentioning, saying power creep, that all these new gadgets are coming out and they're one-upping older gadgets. I really don't think Valkyrie will be in any position to be overshadowed. There's a huge difference between her cameras and Maestro's cameras and the bulletproof cameras. With the black eye cameras, you can throw them pretty far and usually out of the view of the attackers. If you're sneaky enough, you can run outside, throw them real quickly, jump back inside before you're detected, and the attackers will have no idea that the camera's out there. Meanwhile, with Maestro's Evil Eye, you can see it from a mile away. It's pretty prevalent that it's there, so you're gonna have a lot more focus on it, and also most teams run Sledge or Ash, so really shouldn't be a hard issue to get rid of them. Meanwhile, with Valkyrie's cameras, if no one ever marks on them, then they really have no idea that they're there unless they're running an IQ and they know that you have a Valkyrie. But for the most part, I feel like Valkyrie's cameras will still have a very strong place, at least in the ranked meta. I don't think they're used that much in Pro League, but I think in ranked they'll be pretty strong still. Meanwhile, Maestro, after the first week, people will realize, oh, I should bring a Sledge at least, or an Ash every round and just counter it. And not to mention, with Maestro, if you want to put a camera outside, you have to run outside, place it on the ground, and then run back inside. They're going to know that it's there. Meanwhile, Valkyrie, like I said, you can toss them as far as you want. People might not even realize it. Next question by Echo Lazyboy asking, do you think you should be able to link your Uplay/UB Club account so when you switch to PC if you play console, then you don't lose your operator skins and level? I can see why a lot of people would want this, and personally I would have no problems with it. I think it'd be a pretty good addition to the Ubisoft platform overall, but I can definitely see why Ubisoft wouldn't want this themselves. It would lose them a lot of money. I mean, it would gain them favor in the community, but they kind of already have a lot of the community's favor. They don't really need more of it. Meanwhile, if they make it so that you have to rebuy skins or rebuy operators, that's just more potential revenue for them. And I also don't think there's enough demand from people switching from console to PC who are demanding or requesting that they can transfer over their data. And then there's the also subset issue that if, say, there's a sale on Xbox for the game to be $10 or something, but on PC it's still $30, a lot of people will go online and buy it on the Xbox store, and then they'll just message Ubisoft and say, hey, can I transfer the game over from my Xbox account to my PC account? And then Ubisoft will kind of get shafted because then they can't have platform exclusive sales, which I guess they shouldn't really have in the first place, but it's up to them, and I really don't see why they would allow this to happen. There's one more thing I should probably mention that I forgot to mention before, is this is kind of a security issue. Imagine if someone finds out the login details to your Xbox account, and then they message Ubisoft or Xbox and ask them to transfer over the contents from the Xbox account to a PC account, and then you just lose your entire account because they found out your login. That'd be a huge, huge security flaw, and it'd kind of fuck over a lot of people because it's really not that hard to find out what people's login credentials are. Next question from Based Aaron asking basically whether I think soft mirror peak windows are better than reinforced mirrors. I'll put up two pictures just so you guys can kind of understand what I'm talking about. The left one is where you reinforce the wall and put a mirror on it, and then the right one is where you put a mirror at crouch level and then you leave it on a soft wall. There's a lot of arguments for either side. Some people say that they like reinforced mirrors better because that means that they guaranteed cannot get shot through it. A lot of other people like crouched soft mirrors because that means that you can see the enemy and then you can peek up and shoot them before they can react. And each of them are good in different scenarios. One of the only times I ever use crouch soft mirrors is in the penthouse of Coastline. On every other map, I almost always put them on hard reinforced walls. It all depends on the objective site, and if you have an objective where you can put a soft mirror without revealing too much of the objective, then you're fine. So it's kind of hard to say whether one's better than the other. I would definitely say that the reinforced wall is a better security measure because you're safe, you know you're not going to get shot. Meanwhile, with the soft mirror, someone could ash charge it and destroy it from a mile away. But the soft mirror allows more aggressive plays and can get you a lot more kills since all you have to do is just stand up from crouching, shoot the person, and then duck back down. This next question is from Shepherd of Fire asking, if a pro team ever asks you to join their team, what would you do? I'm pretty sure I've been asked this one a lot before, so I'm going to keep this one short. Basically, if a pro team ever approached me and asked me to play, which would never happen because I'm really not that amazing at the game, I would immediately decline because there's really no reason for me to go pro. A lot of pro players who are also content creators have come out and said it themselves that content creation earns you a lot more money than Pro League ever will. Unless you're playing on a pro team like in CSGO where they're paying you $20,000 a month and giving you winnings from the tournaments, you're really not going to earn more as a pro player. I'm not going to go into statistics about how much I earn, but based on what I've heard from pro players, I can guarantee you that I earn more than a pro team would be willing to pay me. And there's also the other thing is I don't want to play this game for 12 hours a day. That's not fun for me. So no, I would never go pro. Next question from Jared asking, what country would you like to see a future operator come from? Honestly, I really don't care. I get asked this on stream a lot, and I think for the most part people are just hoping that I mention their country because they want some sense of like patriotism, I guess, but I honestly really don't care. You could make up any bullshit and just say they're from some made up country, and I'll go with it because I would rather have fair, balanced operators rather than have all this lore and bullshit about where they're from. This might be because the first DLC operators to ever come out were Canadian, so I already have my country's operators out there. So maybe I just don't have this wanting feeling of having a operation dedicated to my country. But really, I just don't care. They can be from any country. I'll just be happy as long as they're balanced. Next question from Slim Shady, probably not the real Slim Shady, but asking how long will you keep doing Siege videos? I will keep doing Siege videos as long as I enjoy the game. If there ever comes a day where I genuinely hate playing the game and I really despise ever loading it up, then I will stop making Siege videos. As much as it'll fuck over my channel, I really don't want to be one of those people who just play Siege just because it makes them money. I actually still really enjoy the game. I have no qualms about playing it every day. Once that day comes where I am genuinely hating it, I will stop making videos. And I've been uploading videos from other games kind of for this reason, is because when that day does come where I don't like Siege anymore, I kind of want to have a follow-up plan. And right now we've been uploading a lot of Spy Party. You guys seem to be enjoying that a lot, so I'll keep doing more of that whenever I can. And introducing newer games to see what you guys actually want to watch. I still know that 99% of you are here for Siege, but if I can ever get the channel to a point where I could make any content I want, I would be super happy. And the next question coming from Kent, which kind of touches on what I just talked about, asking, do you plan on playing any of the announced games this year, like Battlefield or Fallout, even if you don't upload or stream them? So for the most part, I really don't play any single-player games off stream. I just genuinely don't really enjoy single-player games. I've never been a huge fan of them. But I am looking at what games to play this year that are different than Siege. I don't think I'll probably ever play any Call of Duties or Battlefields again because, for me, the main thing that I liked about Siege was this, that your life matters. If you die, and that's it. There's no coming back. Whereas in games like Battlefield and COD, you can die as many times as you want. It really doesn't matter. For single player games like Fallout, I might try them. I might try them on stream more than on YouTube because I feel like a single player game where I'm playing and talking to an audience would be much more enjoyable than just playing it by myself and talking to no one. The only two single player games that I've ever played and incredibly enjoyed were XCOM and Last of Us. Last of Us 2 I'll 100% play when it comes out, and I'll probably stream it and record at the same time and upload it on YouTube. But if there's any games that you guys would absolutely love to see me play, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see about possibly playing them when they come out. Next question from Matus, I think that's how you pronounce it. How long have you been playing Siege and when did you first hit Diamond? To answer this quickly, I've started playing Siege back in the closed beta. I think it was September 2015. And I first hit Diamond in Red Crow, but that's because Diamond was incredibly easy to hit that season. It was like 3,500 elo, which right now it's 4,500, I think. So yeah, that season like 12% of the population hit Diamond. It wasn't that hard. Next question from Biscuit asking if you could change 3 things about Siege any way you want, what are they and how would you change them? First one is something that they've already almost fixed, is drop shotting. Drop shotting is kind of gone now. One more change I'd like to see them make for drop shotting is the way they're implementing it right now is where if you're standing, you're aim down sight and then you drop. You stop aiming down sight while you're dropping, but as soon as you hit the floor, you re-aim down sight. What I would like them to do is instead, when you start dropping, you unaim down sight, so you're hip firing. Your hip fire spread goes across the entire screen, not just some little reticle that they have. And then when you hit the ground, you can't aim down sight until you stop firing. That would be my ideal scenario to completely get rid of drop shotting. One more thing I like to see them fix is quick leaning and quick peeking. They kind of fixed it now, but quick leaning and quick peeking are still kind of an issue. You can still get shot by elbows. The most frustrating part of it is the fact that you can get killed before you can even see someone. And a lot of people talk about how, oh, this takes a lot of skill, this takes a lot of practice. Like, yes, it does to learn it. However, it's not skill to actually kill someone without them being able to see you. Imagine if there was an operator, kind of like Cav, where you could toggle on an ability and you'd become completely invisible to every single person on the map for 10 seconds. And then in that time, you could kill someone if you wanted to. Now, a lot of people say with this would be completely overpowered and cheap, and I would agree. But then some people would say, no, it actually takes skill because you have to know when to toggle on the ability, and you have to know how long you have before you have to run away. And then that would be a valid point. It's kind of the same thing as quick leaning and quick peeking, is that yes, you have to learn and practice and master how to do it. However, it's still cheap for the person that's being punished by this because they can't even counter you. It's not fun. And the last thing I fixed about Siege is the servers. Right now, they have very few servers, and you have people with 60, 70 ping on their native server, which really isn't too bad. But then you have games like CSGO where you really won't find someone with less than 30 ping in a match. Granted, the population sizes are incredibly different. However, Ubisoft has really dropped the ball with the servers, and they say they don't really want to add more servers anytime soon, which is kind of a huge issue, especially in a game that anything above a certain amount of ping starts giving certain people advantages or starts glitching out the game. It's just not fun. Next question from Tyler asking, do you think that the operator ban system should come to ranked? And then how do I feel about a map pick system in ranked where two teams vote on a map to play on? So first off, operator ban system, I really like and I really hope that they do implement into ranked. I need more practice with it to really understand what are good operators to ban and what the good meta is there, but I think it's a really good change. And then two, for the map pick, no. Just no. I prefer right now how it is with just random maps. If you were to allow a map pick system, it would always be the exact same 3 maps every single time. It'd probably be Border, Clubhouse, and Oregon, and that's it. Because I think there's, 9 or 10 ranked maps in the pool right now, so chances are at least one of those is going to show up in the random pick of 3. So no, it would be very boring to play in a meta where you can choose which map to play. Next question from Yeezy. I think this is one I've answered before, so I'll keep this one short. Do I watch Pro League at all? No, I don't. I stream 4 hours a day, make content for 3 or 4 hours a day, so Siege already takes up more than 40 hours a week of my life. I really don't want to watch content or watch pros at all in Siege. I'll get bored of the game, it just won't be fun for me, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. And then next question, kind of similar to last one from Tekio, asking, do you like any anime at all? No, I'm not a weeb. And then the last question of the video comes from Rami Joe, asking, if you were on a world trip, what 5 countries would you definitely want to visit? I've had this list for a while. I think the top 5 countries that I ever want to visit would be Australia, Greece, the UK, Germany, and then if I had to choose a 5th country, probably Italy. Australia just because of the wildlife and how vast and cool it is. Greece because of the history there with Greek mythology and all the old buildings and the ruins. The UK because it has a lot of old buildings and looks very quaint and antique, I guess is the best way to put it. I've just always been fascinated by it. Germany kind of for the same reason. The small towns look absolutely beautiful. And then Italy probably for the art and the history. Alright, and that is it for the monthly Q&A video. Thank you to everyone who asked their questions. Sorry for people who submitted questions but I didn't answer. I only try to answer between 15 to 20 max, sometimes even less than that if the video is a little too long. But like I said, this is a monthly video, so I'll be doing another one in July. So if you really want to get a question in for the next video, then make sure to submit it really quickly and keep an eye out on the community tab in the first week of July for the post. I try to always post it on the first, but I can't guarantee that I'll remember. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.